Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to another episode of the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, and today we're in sunny Nashville. And I'm here attending the Marketing United event, which is run by a company called Emma. Now, as you all know, as a tech guy, I'm fascinated by how technology is completely transforming multiple industries. And today I wanted to explore the world of MARTech, which, for those that don't know, is a combination, obviously, of marketing and technology. And for those new to the company Emma, essentially they're an email marketing leader that is rethinking the event space. And rather than just selling products to their attendees at their event, it's uniting the smartest minds within the industry to share those new ideas on the future of digital marketing. So it's facilitating a discussion around all those big key talking points, not only in marketing, but MARTech too, and also how technology is transforming the entire industry. So for those reasons alone, it's rapidly becoming the must-attend event for digital marketers. And over the last few days, I've been fortunate to soak up the fantastic speaker lineup that they have here, and also been hearing about some genuinely inspiring brand stories too. But as a music lover, the gorgeous venue here of the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum has really blown me away, and it's really added that touch of class and soul to the event. Because let's face it, so many conferences and events take place in soulless conference halls or that just seem to be void of any personality whatsoever. But this place has got so much history. Now, I last spoke to the Senior Vice President of Marketing at Emma, Colby Cavanaugh, way back in August last year. Can't believe that's gone so quickly. So he was the first person, really, that I needed to track down and meet actually in person while I was here. So buckle up and hold on tight, as it's time to beam your ears all the way to Nashville, Tennessee. So we can speak with Colby Cavanaugh, SVP of Marketing at Emma, and he's going to tell us all about the Marketing United event and also the challenges and opportunities for digital marketers. So a massive warm welcome back to the show, Colby. Could you just tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, and thank you for having me back for my first appearance. My name is Colby Cavanaugh. I'm the SVP of Marketing for Emma, email marketing.
So for anyone listening, can you just set the scene and tell the listeners exactly what this marketing event, Marketing United, is all about?
Sure. And Neil, thank you so much for attending Marketing United. It's great to have you here. Yeah, Marketing United is, it's really for Emma. It's one of our biggest weeks from an event perspective. It's a marketing conference that we host in Nashville, which is our hometown. But it's not all about Emma. It really is about marketing best practices, about thought leadership, really giving marketers the knowledge and ideas to do better marketing, both within the context of their current roles and improving their marketing skills as individuals. It's really important to us at Emma to be able to participate in the broader marketing community and be generous and contribute back to that community. And Marketing United is kind of the perfect manifestation of that. So.
Absolutely. It's great to hear you say that how at Emma you are very generous and want to give back to the community, but there is a real vibe about the show here, that it's not self-promotional and you're not trying to sell products. It is more about bringing people together. Was that always your intention with the event?
Absolutely. That is the intention of the event. We are doing our best to take our own advice here, right? And when we think about doing good marketing, really the first thing is being generous with the content. Figuring out the value that you're going to provide. Once you have established a relationship, then maybe you can ask for something. But the first step is really to be generous with the community, be generous with content, and hopefully, I'm glad that's resonating with you.
No, it really is.
Hopefully that comes across.
Yeah, absolutely. And just frequenting the show floor there, you really get that vibe. And I've overheard people talking as well that one of the great things about the show is it's not people are not trying to sell to you constantly, and it is really about just getting together and collaborating, and people from all different industries doing that as well, having that platform.
Absolutely. Well, and it's incredibly informative to us at Emma, me as a marketer, to learn from my peers. So I think if we can help be a part of that discussion and facilitate that discussion, good things come from that. And it's really, fostering the community of marketers in a really dynamic, changing landscape. That's where we want to be. We want to be helping to facilitate the discussion, not in the middle of the discussion, or not having a one-sided discussion.
Absolutely. So how has the show evolved over the last 3 to 4 years?
It's really, it's really grown. You've probably noticed we're almost at capacity here, judging by the lines at lunch and the lines at the elevator. But we've really continued to, when I think about the show, I think about continuing to grow the footprint, about continuing to pull people from a broader and broader geographic area. I think about bringing together speakers and presenters who are thinking about things, not only about email, but things like social and the role of social in marketing. Video is a big theme this year in terms of a medium about, that allows you to tell a compelling story. Content marketing and storytelling in general. Content marketing, really the dynamics around content marketing are shifting really rapidly as well. So I think, when I think about the evolution here, I think about, again, footprint and continuing to grow and get broader reach, but also expanding that same footprint from a content perspective.
And over the last few years, have you noticed technology really making a big impact at what you do here as well?
Yeah, I mean, technology in general, making it easier to engage and connect. And one of the things that we think about when we're building technology at Emma is it should be really accessible. It should be able to get you up in terms of kind of that sophistication curve. Like it should be, you should not run out of road when you're trying to do sophisticated marketing, but it should never get in the way. And I think that a lot of our partners and a lot of the folks that are here, technologists that are here, have that same philosophy of making technology really accessible, really valuable, but technology that doesn't get in the way. And I think as technology becomes more and more transparent, it is easier for people to get a little bit more sophisticated and up their marketing game, which again is just absolutely necessary in the current climate.
Are there any particular tech trends that really excite you at the moment, or tech themes that are really running through the event here that you've noticed? I mean, artificial intelligence is obviously a big one.
We talked about that last time too, and I continue to evolve my perspective on AI. Last time we talked, what was it, like 3 or 4 months ago?
I think it was about 6 months ago now. Where's time go?
It's been a while. And we talked a lot about AI, in some ways kind of being a proxy for automation. A lot of times people will talk about automation. That's not how I think about AI. I think about AI as being able to do some of the heavy lifting, especially as marketing teams and marketers have to become more data-driven and analytics-driven, and more precise. AI can serve to help us do some of the less fun parts of that analysis, ideally freeing us up to doing great marketing, inspired marketing, creative marketing that's going to serve our customers in the best way possible. So I think certainly the trends around that and people using AI for that purpose, it's really becoming democratized for marketers, and really helping us do some of that heavy lifting so we can focus on more important things like marketing to humans. So
yeah. Now, a few weeks ago I was speaking with somebody in the marketing industry, and they were saying that a few years ago data was your biggest asset as a company, but now it's considered a liability, especially on the news of the Facebook and Cambridge Analytics. I mean, is that a real big challenge for you guys at the moment?
So for there's two sides for me to that coin, right? Yeah. There's us as Emma, as a technology provider. I still see cases where people aren't taking enough advantage of the data that they have to drive segmentation and to use the information they have to honor preferences and to provide value. And in terms of segmentation, it can be as simple as who's engaged, who's not engaged, or who's buying from me and who's not buying from me, just some of those binary decisions. So I think we still have a ways to go in terms of actually leveraging the data in very binary, simple ways to start driving that segmentation capability. And it doesn't take a lot of data to do that. Speaking as a marketer, I feel that, right? Like it feels like 5 years ago, everybody was on the quest for data, right? Your customers' data is your most valuable asset as a company. We're all data scientists now. Just in the last, since probably we've talked, just in the last 6 months, it does feel like we are making that shift, with GDPR, thinking about GDPR and the intent behind that, to maybe having a lot of data that I'm not really using or not taking advantage of. Maybe that is a liability. Yeah. And how do I really think about data minimization, right? Was anybody talking about data minimization a year ago? No. I don't think we were in marketing. So
at the event this year, you're going to be speaking with a lot of CEOs, a lot of leaders, and a lot of companies with a lot of big problems. Are there any particular conversations or themes that you're hearing again and again, or problems that need solving?
Yeah, when I've been talking to a lot of marketing leaders this week, which I love because they're my people, right? We all have the same problems. I think the big trends really are around, acquisition of new subscribers, new customers. Acquisition is just getting harder, and it's getting more expensive. Our paid campaigns are being prioritized over our organic efforts. In some ways, organic efforts are being kind of minimized through SEO and through social. So paid's getting more expensive, which means that we have to be more accountable as marketers. We have to be more efficient as marketers to afford that cost of acquisition. But it also means engagement becomes really, really, really important. It's always been important, but paying attention to the customers you have, marketing to the folks you have, keeping them engaged, providing that great experience to the people you already have, really nurturing those folks becomes really important, because you can't go churn and burn. It's just too expensive to acquire and burn out.
Do you think that's a mistake that a lot of people make, where they're constantly searching for new customers or trying to win new customers, when it's looking after your existing audience where the value is?
I think we all fall into that trap.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of it myself as a marketer. I think it's so easy to get caught up on that acquisition treadmill and not pay enough attention to your existing customers and your existing relationships. I think a lot has to do with those vanity metrics of really the way we measure our businesses and the way we measure our marketing campaigns. It puts a lot of emphasis on acquisition. I think retention now is equally or more important. But let's think about where we're putting our resources as marketers, as businesses. And a lot of it's still on the acquisition side. So.
Yeah. And another big theme seems to be storytelling this year, both here and at the Adobe conference a few weeks ago. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah. I think storytelling, being able to tell your brand story, being able to provide a really cohesive brand experience. Again, it kind of comes back to customer service, and it comes back to honoring your customers' preferences. It comes back to providing value. But I do think it's something that a lot of marketers really struggle with. We're really good at the elevator pitch. We're really good at the soundbite. We're really good at that display ad, right?
Yeah.
We're good at that, right? But I think really telling a story, conveying that brand experience in concise, compelling ways, it's something we can all be better at.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the last time we spoke, we were talking about when we first wake up in the morning, we just delete as many emails as we can,
I'm on the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
This is my inbox.
Whoa! Just for anyone listening, there's over 60,000 unread emails on there. Notifications is a big bugbear of mine. How do you look at that every day?
I am in email marketing. I subscribe to a lot. I love to look at what people are doing, so I've subscribed to a lot. But there are the deleters and the zero inboxers, and then there are folks like me that use it as
You're certainly not a zero inboxer.
No. I use it as an archive. And I think it really gets to that point of engagement. We delete emails, or in my case, I don't open them.
Yeah.
But there are those brands that I look forward to, that I engage with, that hit my inbox and not the promotions tab, that I go in and actively search for, right? I will go in and use my inbox as a data archive and actually search out deals, or if I'm shopping for a product in particular, I'll go in and search that content. And it's important to think about which ones are you auto-deleting, which ones are you ignoring, which ones are you engaging with, and why is that? And a lot of times they're telling the compelling story. They've created the relationship with you. You're looking for that value you expect from them every single time. So that's the real difference there.
And you mentioned there about which ones do you actually engage with. Now, there are so many different messaging platforms now, whether it be Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, and email, of course. I mean, what is in your mind, what is the best way, or what stands out and makes you want to engage with a company, and how do you make your message heard?
It's the brand experience. And I think, like, when we think about social, when we think about email, when we think about mobile push notifications, when we think about SMS, right? It is in support of a brand experience. And kind of going back to our earlier point of discussion, to really harness the power of email and have a good email program, you don't start with the channel. You don't start with email. You've got to think about, what is the intent, right? What is the experience that I'm trying to provide? What is the value that I'm providing? And then what's the appropriate channel to use to get that across? And I think when you're using multiple channels in coordination in support of that brand experience, and that includes everything we just talked about, and your website, and your forms, and your in-store experience, like, think about that as a cohesive brand experience, and what are you doing to provide that for customers? And I think we just heard from a restaurant panel out in the expo hall, and like, when you think about that experience and the experience of dining in a restaurant, that's just one facet of it. It actually starts in the digital landscape way ahead of that, and making that cohesive. Just as an example, thinking about all the different touch points there for a cohesive experience, those are the folks that are winning.
Now, you did mention the panel a few moments ago. So for anyone listening all over the world that can't attend the event, are there any particular keynotes that have really excited you? Or
I am so thrilled with the speakers this year, and you can go to marketingunited.com and catch some of those full video and audio. Kendra Hall, great session on storytelling. Arun Chaudhry, I think it's really interesting, first videographer in the White House in 2008, it really speaks to the power of video as a medium, as a document of history. Because you don't add people to the White House. Yeah. You have to take a body, take somebody out, a role out of the White House to add a new role into the White House. So video is that important, and video continues to be important in storytelling and documentation, and important from a marketing perspective. Mel Robbins blew me away last night. It was a 5-second rule, so I've used it already.
Have you really?
If you don't know what we're talking about, you'll have to check it out. So yeah, just amazing speakers so far.
Yeah, and so you said that all the main keynotes are available on the website as well for anyone listening.
The keynotes will be available on the Marketing United website. Yep. Yeah.
Cool.
So definitely catch us virtual, and we would love to have you engage with us.
Cool. Well, one of the things I love about this event is the character of the building that we're in at the moment.
Yeah.
And seeing people on stage at the Country Music Hall of Fame is just fantastic. It's got a real character about it. Do you ever see you? Because it is growing at a rapid rate. Do you ever see you having to expand and go beyond here, or and that's got to be a difficult decision for you guys?
It is, yeah. I mean, the character of this building, it's just got a lot of charm. That stage is phenomenal, and it's kind of fun to present on a stage that you've shared with some of some very legendary artists. And it's been a challenge for us because we love the space, but we are getting to the point where the lineup in the elevator gives me nightmares, and some of the logistics are tough. But so we'll have to address that challenge. I think one of the ideas that I have is really having a Nashville-focused event, but also thinking about events in other locations, both in the United States and potentially global events as well. I think Marketing United is a conference that stands alone from a brand perspective, and also meets the need of marketers, kind of a need that's not being met in a lot of ways. And so, maybe look for some developments in that area as well as we think about Marketing United in a bit more of a broader sense.
Mm. Well, I mean, this week's going to be incredibly exciting for you. Yeah. There's a lot of adrenaline that goes with running an event, but once that's calmed down and that's gone away, what's next for you guys at MA Marketing?
Sleep. I'm going to sleep for 36 hours.
And you've got 60,000 emails to read.
Got plenty of email to go through. And then we're hard at work with the product roadmap and the roadmap priorities there, really centering around engagement tools, around that collaboration, which has been a major product theme of ours, getting marketers in the app to collaborate, to do great work together. So really back to work on that, and planning for Marketing United next year. We're already doing that.
Really? That starts so soon?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, for anyone listening that can't make the event, could you just remind everyone listening your website details, where they can get hold of those keynotes, because there's some incredibly valuable information hidden in there, and also how they can reach a member of your team if they've got any questions about the event or our conversation today?
Absolutely. So go definitely check out the Marketing United website. That's marketingunited.com. You'll be able to access the keynotes. We'll have them up. We got to do a little production work there. Yeah. We'll have those up in a week or two. And then for questions about Emma and technology, myemma.com. Go there, hit the resources tab. We've got a lot of great content on that. We have a fantastic blog that is very active, so check out those resources. We also, this week, both in the app and through live interviews, are doing our second annual industry survey. So we will be publishing that over the next few months. And again, this is such a great opportunity. We've got, 800 to 1,000 marketers in the room, so we're going to ask a bunch of them questions and publish out the findings. Maybe we can have another conversation at that point.
Absolutely.
As we figure out what people are thinking about.
Yeah. So, what kind of questions are you asking in that survey?
Really, we want to hear about challenges, priorities, initiatives. What's keeping people up at night? What are they most excited about? And so we, fortunately have the opportunity to talk with marketers of a lot of different industries, a lot of different company sizes. So, once we get the answers back from the questions, then we can also segment out verticals and sizes and geographies and get some really interesting insights about trends and what's going on in the marketing world.
Excellent. Well, I can honestly say that one of the big things that really stands out from this event is it doesn't seem to be about Emma marketing at all. It's almost like you guys take the back seat. I don't know if that's intentional.
Yeah, no,
but
absolutely.
It really does seem to be about what keeps people awake at night and what challenges and what opportunities equally. So a big thank you for coming on today and taking that time to come on.
No, thank you, and thank you for being at Marketing United. It's great to be back on the podcast.
I think personalisation, experiences, storytelling and artificial intelligence are the big buzzwords that many companies are realising are the ingredients to the secret sauce that will capture the attention of their easily distracted customers. Kindra Hall highlighted at the Marketing United event yesterday the point perfectly when she said most people wouldn't remember who played in the 2014 Super Bowl, but they will remember the commercial with the puppies and the horses. And Aaron Child, who served as the first official White House videographer for President Obama, he also waded in by saying, if you don't constantly tell your story, other people will tell it for you and take it from you. But the industry does have its challenges. I mean, anyone that unlocks their smartphone will see a notification reminding them that they have thousands of unread email messages. They'll testify that, yes, emails are continuing to rise, but engagement, that's actually on the decline. But there is undoubtedly a wind of change in the air. And I think that there's an increasing focus on the use of storytelling to actually build trust with your audience. And something else that's been highlighted here at the event is the rise of voice search and how it's going to be a huge game changer in the industry. SEO is no longer just about links and keywords, and I think it's evolving into something much bigger. In every pocket and even home now, more and more people are turning to digital assistants such as Siri, Google Home, Alexa and Microsoft's Cortana. But why? Because we can speak 4 times faster than we type. And analysts go as far to say that by 2020, 50% of searches will be made using our voice rather than our fingers. And 72% of people that own a voice-activated speaker use their devices as part of their daily routine. So if engagement is going to shift to voice, it's relatively easy to jump to the conclusion that display is ultimately going to suffer in the long run. And I do wonder if the rise of voice will dramatically affect the search distribution in our immediate future too. There is still a long way to go. I mean, the number one voice command to all digital assistants is still call mum. And that kind of suggests that this technology is still very much in its infancy. But Corey from Voicera, he was at the Marketing United event, and he also said that the future is more about what you say more than what you see. And I guess it is true that we're becoming increasingly impatient, and the idea of tapping away at a keyboard or phone screen is already making many question its efficiency when compared to using their voice. For these reasons alone, I think it's only a matter of time until more and more companies will grab that early competitive edge by focusing on their digital knowledge management and effective voice strategy. Because we are all living in a digital age now where consumers, they can smell BS within a few clicks, swipes or even voice command. So my big takeaway from Marketing United is that the time has arrived for marketers to focus on providing value and meaningfully engaging with their audience rather than just trying to sell them more stuff. And that can only be a great thing, right? As always, I want to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your insights, and you can do all that by contacting me on Twitter at Neil C. Hughes or email me to techblogwriter@outlook.com. So I'm going to dash off and see a couple of more of the keynote speeches, but before I go, I just wanted to say a big thank you for listening, and until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.